Last week, President Bola Tinubu appointed Jim Ovia as the chairman of the Nigerian Education Loans Fund. According to a statement from the presidency, Tinubu believes Ovia will bring his immense wealth of experience to ensure that no Nigerian student suffers a paucity of funds in the quest for tertiary education. What can be done to improve the quality of university education in Nigeria in the light of this new appointment? Apart from providing loans to needy students, what else should the government do to improve the quality of tertiary education in Nigeria? Dr. Sam Amadi, a RISE analyst, joins us now to look at this development. Thanks very much, Sam, for coming on Newsnight. I mean, the student loan fund is being one contentious issues between even the students themselves, how much that is budgeted and the rest, you know. I want you to quickly, you know, use this to pigeonhole it with the then Nigerian Students Loan Board, which went awry, and all leaders of yesterday and today who enjoyed that facility never repaid it back.
I think that's probably should be a lesson that this new initiative should borrow from. Again, like you said, the first act was almost like terrible. People, first, it was neither here nor there. Central Bank Special Committee, all kind of messed up, but they have now got 224 version, which is an improvement. So the first thing about repayment is whether they're going to use a time-based or income contingent option. And in many parts of the world, time-based means you can say 2 years after you leave school, or 3 years or whatever year, you start a repayment. Now, the problem has always been that with the high level of unemployment, graduate unemployment now, nobody can give a guarantee that every graduate would get meaningful job for the next 2 years. So the new act now uses income-based approach. So you have to get a job before you are
compelled to start your repayment.
Starts running, and then it has to be based on your income. So, but then this will require that the fund has good database, because there's a section that requires employers to contact the fund for new employment to find out their indebtedness and all that. But again, I don't see many employers doing that faithfully. So there must be a strong monitoring, contact, section with good data that say, okay, track these beneficiaries. That's one problem we're going to have. Second is,
what's the essence of the NIN and the BVN if the fund will still be asking would-be employers?
Well, for example, you might have a NIN and know this is Mr. B is owing us. His name is this way he lives, but you won't know. You don't know he has started working, because the person can tell you, I don't have a work. Maybe next month he gets a job.
But he has a bank account with a BVN.
Yeah, but
you'll be able to track that.
Track, that's what I'm saying. Somebody will have to track.
Yeah.
But the implication is that once they start
working, have that in the database, would that be a difficult
the problem? First problem is that, look, we don't have.
I think maybe the first challenge, first challenge for Jim Ovia as the chairman and its board and management is to create a database that is linked to NIN to the BVNs and
updated as students get employed.
Absolutely.
So they're supposed to be getting 10% monthly, which is fair. So I think the fund creates a propensity or more disposition to repay. One of the things we've seen all over the world, whether it's in the Netherlands, the US, is that if the burden is heavy, default is more likely. And if you make it, you must pay within this time period, then when they can't pay, default starts, and once you have default, it destroys the credibility of the fund. So the idea of saying we 10% deduction from source, so the employer pays your salary, takes 10% of your salary every month to the fund.
Now, let's quickly look. Is this loan open to all Nigerian students? There's a federal government initiative. During our own time, our state governments give bursary and the rest.
Now, this one, it says all Nigerian students in federal, state universities, even polytechnic, the new amendment opens up to polytechnic
and private universities?
Well, it says federal state, but says confirmed or what do you call it, certified by, that is courses that are recognized by NUC. But it looks like the trigger here is federal state, not private, and for good reason. Private universities
no, why should they give?
Scheme
why should they
give,
give?
Out of this world.
Why should they give them scholarship?
If you're going to pay 2 million or 1 point something,
so they are
based or somewhere. Why should? So this is state and federal. Again, the other thing that has to be watched out carefully is criteria for assessment. You know, and this is where the credibility of the board matters. So they need to sit back and craft this criteria so that it's fair, so that the process is transparent, open. Oftentimes, we've seen several social policies or schemes that are rigged, you know, in favor of political appointees, used as a form of building political base constituency. So maybe an APC youth base, you know, gets access to more of these funds and for their youths, and then as part of politics. So the first thing is to protect it from political calculations, to ensure that the process of administration is transparent, is open, and the process for application as well is simple, simplified, so that you don't have to require high-end technical skill to access, fill the form. Everybody, rural area, people in the rural communities can do the same thing, simplified procedure, and then they announce opens at the same time. The question is, since they've removed the threshold of 500, the initial law says, the first bill law says, only open to those whose parents earn less than 500,000 a year. Now they've removed that because it looks like it's too low, and it will cut off some people who are poor. If you look at the fact that earning 2 million a year in Nigeria with 3 children, disposable income, taking care of health, taking care of rent, food, with all the high food inflation of that something percent, does not give you enough. Even if you're earning 3 million, you are still poor enough not to pay for university education for your children. So they have opened that up. The question now is, if it's everybody, how are they going to manage the avalanche, expected avalanche of applications and then I think we should not allow those who can very clearly afford it. I mean, some level of civil servants, let's say those in the managerial class or private Nigerians who are earning something like 10 million a year, should evidently not be part of, you know, this fund, because you have to look at the fact that this is going to take a lot of public finance to make it viable and strong. Already 60 billion seems to be earmarked in the budget. You need more than that. So there's no point paying for those who can pay. Let's start with those who really need this loan to go to school. And so you have to create some restrictive, you know, criteria to qualify in terms of means-tested qualifications. And again, the question people are asking that this is not the answer to the educational crisis. This is just this with access, and access is important for teacher education, for economic development. But again, the quality and the strategic alignment of curriculum, the fact that university education, maybe we need to prioritize in terms of our development challenges and involve in expansion of research and development, journals. I mean, if you look at web metrics, many universities are very poor in terms of presence in the web and all that.
Absolutely, you're right. Thank you so very much, Dr. Sam Amadi, Arise analyst, for coming to, you know, shed light on the Students' Loan Fund.